we're joined by Manoj Kawal-Ramani in Bengaluru, India. He's a research fellow at the Takshashila Institution. Great to have you on the program with us, Manoj. Now, tell us a bit more about how China and Russia's relations have grown as a result of Western sanctions.
Thank you so much for having me. Look, I think like your reporter said in the earlier reporting that there's been a significant deepening of the economic relationship. That relationship is in some ways symmetrical in terms of its trade components. China imports a significant percentage of goods to Russia, particularly a significant number of goods which are required for the Russian war effort in terms of its missiles, drones, weaponry, cars, and so on and so forth. And it imports a very large percentage of energy from Russia. And that number, like your report said, has gone up significantly. So there is a certain symbiotic relationship that has evolved. Apart from that, there is significant investment uptick that has taken place. In May, when Putin and Xi Jinping met, they talked about 80 priority projects that were currently underway with valued at about $200 billion. And then there are obviously projects across the aerospace, automobile, mining, gas, chemical industries, and even increasingly knowledge-intensive areas such as space and emerging technologies, AI. So there's a deepening of the relationship between the two governments on the whole, because there is a strategic congruence. But I think from a people-to-people perspective, there are still deep frictions within the relationship.
Right now, Chinese Premier Li Qiang is currently on a visit to Moscow. What deals can we expect to come out of this?
So the visit is largely done with. We have a joint communique that came out, and there are no major announcements in the joint communique. I don't think they were expected also. What we see is essentially an agreement to continue down the pathway that the two countries have been. The two presidents met in May and they outlined a plan. And what you see from this visit is essentially a continuation of what was outlined. There are MOUs on different areas. And again, they're useful to note because it tells you about the prioritization from infrastructure to education to cutting edge research and collaboration between Chinese and Russian universities, to maritime search and rescue cooperation, MOU on the chemical industry, sports, youth, and also a broad restatement of the congruence that the two sides have when it comes to the future of the international order and the use of institutions like the BRICS and the SCO and support for each other in those institutions and other multilateral forums. So I think that's broadly what we've seen out of this visit.
What about energy and infrastructure? How have these sectors helped deepen economic ties between Russia and China?
These are significant. Energy in particular, like your report pointed out, right? China is expanding its stake in nuclear energy in particular. Russia is a big partner. Just earlier this week, the Chinese government approved 11 new nuclear reactors across 5 specific sites. And Russia is a big partner in nuclear energy. Russia is potentially an increasing partner when it comes to research on hydrogen energy. Of course, on traditional energy, crude oil, China's imports of Russian energy resources have gone up significantly. But that said, there is also friction when it comes to that. The Power of Serbia 2 line, which was expected to be announced earlier this year, it's not materialized. There is clear hardball negotiation going on with regard to prices on that. The Chinese side understands that they have an upper hand in this conversation, and they've been going slow on it. So while energy infrastructure are key components driving the relationship forward, there are also frictions in that because each side is driving a harder bargain.
All right, Manoj Kawal-Ramani, research fellow at the